So my first command, I ended up being an LPO within like 6 months of getting there on a platoon. But it it was just not the same, right? But and going to Baghdad and stuff and Ramadi, like yeah, because if you're going on those missions and everything's not right, like here, you ain't paying attention with those things,
You
right?
bet.
Like that's and the missions I was telling about that we did earlier. Like there, we were dealing with some dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not joking. There was numerous times where I walked away and I was like, man, I'm glad I got all my digits right now. There was some times where it was because we actually lost, like that's where we started. So like one time we lost a guy from my command, and literally my wife asked me like a couple days afterwards. She talked to me. She's like, I literally just had dinner with his wife right before they found that he passed away. She was like, are you doing things like that? And I was like, and she asked me to give her, she's like, tell me. And I was like, yeah. I was like, you want to know honestly? And she's like, yeah. I was like, I almost died 2 days ago. This was what happened to me. And I was like, I'm surprised that I got nothing wrong with me. And she was like, oh, and I realized at that point that I should have never told her that because I wanted her to not worry about me. I wanted her to walk around with the kids and go get ice cream and whatever, and just not
Yeah.
not think that there's things. She knows the dangers of the job, but I don't need to make it too real for her.
I, I
So
hear you, bro. All of us on deployment, we want to have this vision in our life, in our mind, that our families are doing great and they're okay
yeah,
and they're not a concern. They're not a problem. They're safe. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing so they can have that, right?
yeah,
And I remember my wife, I'd tell her, drive me to the ship and that before we get underway because I don't want you standing on the pier while we're going to sea. I don't want to have to worry about you driving home in that car.
yeah,
God knows you're going to drive a whole bunch of other places after I'm gone. But
yeah,
I don't want to have that worry that morning. I want to wake up knowing, okay, I'm on deployment and she's taking care of her business and she's good. She's okay. I'm going to
yeah,
focus on what I got to focus on. And so I get all that, bro.
yeah.
So you're in Spain. Your family's probably enjoying it. You're doing some cool stuff, but you're hopefully getting some good shore duty or some good liberty in between all that. Are you at 20 years at that point?
Yeah, I when I left there, I was right at my 21-year mark, right? So
Okay.
I needed to either re-enlist or get out, right? And I was still having fun. I was like I said, I was attached to the Green Berets, so I was still
Yeah.
blowing things up, kicking down doors. Like I was doing the fun stuff. And then, it was time for me to re-enlist. I re-enlisted, and that's when I went to the troop spot, right, where I was in charge of people. And then after that, I went to Stuttgart, right? So I was at Sakir. So I was a staff in the J5 department, so planning for Stuttgart, so Special Operations Command Europe. So they own like all the special forces, special warfare, and all that kind of stuff within Europe, right? So I worked for a 2-star over there, and then I made Master Chief there, and then that's when I was like, I need to go back to a mobile unit. I wanted to be a Master Chief at an EOD mobile unit, and that's when I went to Guam.
So you went from Spain, you went from Spain getting the Green Beret stink on you
Yeah,
into the belly of the beast, the
yep,
Stuttgart.
yep.
And, which means you must have done a good job, bro. Because let's be honest, they probably just happy to pull you on up in there and give you some opportunity. Did your family like Germany?
Not so much. My son did. My wife and daughter didn't. So
Okay.
if we would have went to Germany first and then Spain, we would have liked Germany more, right? Like Germany is army centric, right? So base is run by army. They don't. It's different. And then we went from San Diego having a really nice house, Spain having a really nice house, and then Germany living in basically apartments, right? And we hadn't lived any kind of thing like that since we were in Japan back in the days. So if we would have went to Germany first, we would have loved it more and everything like that. So
Yeah, because Spain, you guys get you get that good OHA over there, right? To go out just to get a nice big house. I, I,
yeah,
I wanted to go to Spain, but I never was able to make that happen. But it was on my
I,
bucket list.
we loved it out there. We loved it out there. I felt like I was on vacation every day when we were there. When I was there.
So what was it about wanting to go back to an EOD mobile unit as a Master Chief? Why was that such an important thing for you?
Well, I mean, I know you've seen it, right? You got people that are in top positions that they're on the road program, like they've already retired, like they're already on the, retired on active duty, or they're not doing the things. They kind of forgot, what it was to be like, on the deck plate and everything. And I wanted to be able to be around my community, and I wanted, because I didn't know if I was going to stay in or whatever, right? And or if I was going to keep going after one more tour. And I wanted to be able to be at a mobile unit to like help people get out the door, go to war basically without having to worry about me, right? Because I'm there to take care of you so you can get out the door. So,
Yeah.
and I'm going to work for you.
I get it, man. I wanted to make DC Master Chief before I became a CMC, right? Because I wanted to know that I had gotten to the top of my community, and I wanted to be on an aircraft carrier as a DC Master